Welcome back to Riding Bikes in San Diego, and happy belated May the 4th be with you to everybody who celebrates. We are riding on 30th Street through North Park from El Cajon Boulevard, and we're going to take this all the way down to Kalmia. And when I say we, I mean me and my buddy behind me on my cargo bike here. And just spoiler for anyone, nothing terrible is going to happen in this video, but there are a few things that I want to point out. But 30th Street is really, it's become a much better place to ride, which is not to say it doesn't have its problems. It definitely does. But, we'll look at those like, I don't know, start keeping an eye down on the gutter there at all the standing water here. They really put this whole bike lane in, and in some places just forgot all about things like drainage, which for the most part's okay. In San Diego we only get like 40 days of rain a year, but when it does rain it can pool up and collect, and in the summertime those just become like little mosquito farms and all that. But I'm sure it'll go away quickly. Let me just get around this person over the line, and somebody's making a turn, and somebody else was part delete. That's whatever. It's the same stuff. Also, check out how these drivers, that white line is just a suggestion, I guess. Whatever. You get in there, that's your parking space. Fine. While we're going along here, I just want to take a second. It's been a minute. I want to thank the people who ride along and pay a few dollars a month for membership here. There's only 6 folks, but I really appreciate it. They're getting this video first, and I'm putting this video up a good couple of days before just for them. So Andrew, Rod, Ian, John, Marty, Jaden, thank you so much for being here. And I'm only related to one of those people. So everybody who's watching this, I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate the kinds of comments people have been giving. I feel like there's been a lot of support on the channel. And so I'm just going to keep showing you what's going on in San Diego. We are heading towards University now, and another good thing about this ride is that I'm hitting all the lights. I love that. For those who don't know, when you're crossing University here, there is a little bike counter. I was the 112th bicycle to go over this specific spot on this specific day, so that was fun. And you can always check a website for the count for that. Maybe I'll put a link to that over in the description so you can see that for yourself. I don't hit all the lights. Oh, look at me sitting here at this light. And I forgot to speed it up. It's okay. This is a beautiful corner. I like being here. That little restaurant's alright, but the real gem is Caddy Corner there, Verbatim Books. And they don't pay me. That's just a bookstore that I really like. They do some really great events there. The poetry section's really good. They have some zines. All in all, fantastic place to stop. Highly recommend going in there. And their Instagram is hilarious also. While we're going along, I'm also, always keeping an eye. We got these little flex posts. And for all that these are here, we know that they don't stop drivers from pulling in there, especially in the evenings. A lot of rideshare folks can get in between these gaps between the flex posts, and in some places you'll find that the flex post isn't even gone. And if you see that they're kind of dirty, that's because drivers have hit them with cars and they get dirtied up in that process too. But this is so much better than it used to be. This used to be all parking, no infrastructure at all, and it was a pretty hostile place to ride. I wasn't making videos at the time, but I kind of wish I had those for comparison. Although, at the time, I don't know how much I would have been riding on here. I probably would have gone over to a street like Utah for this. And for those wondering why I'm not going over to Utah right now, because I don't need to go further west to come back east. This lane is here. It's doing fine. So, we're going to use it. And we're going to appreciate what we have in the neighborhood. There's a missing flex post. Yeah, these are real spread out, but it's just paint and a little bit of plastic. It's not protection, but like I said, it's gotten way better than it used to be. I think also now, this stuff's been here for a few years. I think people have really gotten used to it. They also keep doing little tweaks. Like this area has been recently redone. You can actually see where the old stuff was and some new stuff, and they're working it out over here. It's not so bad, but we wait our turn over here, and the best thing that is that they've painted this whole curb red. This used to be a spot where drivers would park all the time. They did all the work, then they put in this new pavement right here at the bus stop, which I think is kind of funny. So hopefully they'll come back around with the paint. And oh yeah, we're gonna stop and make a little detour. Right before I went out to take this ride, I went to get on the bike. I started pumping up the front tire because it needed a little bit of air. And just when I finished, I blew the valve a bit. So I got out of the house a little bit late. I was a little frustrated. Had to change the tire. So I could stop at that shop, which is the Stubborn Goat, and get things I need. I also got some brake pads, so for a different bike, which is a project I'm having a real frustrating time with. The pads, once I put them into the caliper, I can't get the disc in. So I don't know if I need to get thinner pads or what. I've already tried pushing out the caliper pistons. I'm not quite sure. My buddy's gonna come over and we're gonna eyeball it at one of these days this week. But we get back on the road. It's really nice to have things like bike shops along the way. And also, that's another thing about riding on a street like Adams Avenue, is that there are businesses. You might want to stop. You might want to stop and spend some money and buy things and support your local economy, support your local businesses. You can't do that if the only places you're relegated to riding are on residential roads. You need to be able to ride through where the action is, through where the stores are and the shops and the restaurants and the cafes, all those things. I'm not saying we all have to live and die by capitalism, but it's useful. Oh, and look at us just making it through the intersection where the last time we had this on film was when a driver hit me with their car. So I actually felt pretty good when that light turned red and I had to wait for a moment. But it's a nice, smooth ride, and the camera actually is pretty good with some low light. It makes it look brighter than it was. It was a really overcast day, but it's kind of nice to have like a breezy, bit of a gloomy day, and actually the sun is going to, well, the sun's already gone, but the clouds are gonna start dropping water on us in a little bit, but I don't have that on video. I put the camera away when I got to that. But I do like riding in the rain, though. Sometimes lately, especially, we get May gray and June gloom out here in San Diego, and sometimes I feel a little bit hesitant to ride a bike, but then I remember what they say over in the Netherlands, I am not made of sugar, so it's not so bad. We have good tires on the bike, and we have lights, and it was fine getting home, and getting a little wet never really hurt anyone. But we're getting to the end of our ride. We just went over Switzer Canyon, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope that you just like seeing what's going on. I caught this other video on YouTube, a photography vlog, and I guess a couple of the photographers came out to San Diego, and they were spending a lot of time over in like Solana Beach and those kind of areas, and kind of felt like we needed to get a little North Park in here, a little bit of Uptown, and we spend a lot of time in Uptown and Mid-City on this channel, so we're just going to keep doing that. I hope you enjoyed coming with me, and from here we're going to drive less and ride a bike. Thanks.